What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Hope y'all had a happy Mother's Day. I know I did. I relaxed. I didn't do no types of mom shit. That's exactly how I wanted it. It's Monday. We're here to get into this never ever met. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, so let's get into it. The housemates have an issue with Chris and Jody and how they be interacting with each other rather than with the people that they came here to interact with. Jody treats Aaron like she doesn't like him at all. And I feel like if y'all have been communicating 9 months, however many months y'all been talking, and you've developed this friendship, regardless to what's going on with Aaron in terms of what he may or may not be into, you don't have to be mean to the man. I'm just saying. Like, he seems like a nice enough kid. And I'm calling him a kid because that's what he is. Sorry, it was distracting me. Chris is straight up training Zadia for wife. When you Google the acronym for wife, you get washing, ironing, food, and entertainment. And he's won half the battle because she's already decided she's fighting for it no matter what. I don't even know what she's fighting for because he said first day, they're not dating, they're not exclusive. He out here getting girls, and it ain't a hard thing for him to do. Now she said something about him flirting with somebody in the house. They tried to blow that off. He's not attracted to anybody in the house. Now I see what was happening here. The conversation about him and Jody been happening for a minute, I'm guessing, since, she was concerned about him flirting with somebody in the house. Zadia, what are your requirements? What type of man is you looking for? Do you have any requirements? Because it goes both ways. He's decided what he wants in a wife. And he about to put you through training, child. Is that he gonna break you down till you learn all the rules. Rule number one, if I be flirting with somebody other than you, relax. Your eyes ain't seeing what they're seeing. And if that's what you think they're seeing, you're just jealous and insecure. It's Joker hot. I hate that. I hate that when it's too hot and I can smell it. It's peach tea and I can smell it. Anyway. Diamond and Millie want to pull her to the side, because she's a little bless your heart. So they're asking her, like, are you comfortable with this whole situation with Jody and Chris? And she doesn't really say words. So she's doing all these gestures. While she's doing all these gestures, Millie is interpreting her movements. So we know what's going on. You don't like it when she gets close? Yeah, she's not supposed to be all close to your man. She's supposed to be close to her own man, the one that she came with. You're supposed to be chilling with your own dude. That's what all that means. I want Sadia to open her mouth and express herself. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got me one. She's not gonna be able to do that with a guy like Chris. She is gonna have to be with somebody who is kind and has her same type of core values. Cause this dude, Chris, he might be Haitian by culture, but he feels like he was born, feels like he's been raised over here on the United States. And depending on where you are, anywhere there's men, toxic masculinity is a thing. It is worse in some places than others. I don't know. In some cultures and others. I don't know anything really about the Haitian culture. I do know that, like I said, where there's men, there's toxicity. And we got us a doozy over here, child. I feel like he's operating under some stupid shit that he read in The Art of War. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Or the Pimp Diaries or some of that, what I'm talking about. Diamond is over here like, girl, do you want us to talk to her? I mean, we're not gonna actually talk to her. We're just gonna support you to talk to her. And because I can't talk to her, because if I talk to her and then she gonna start popping off, then Millie gonna be popping off, and I'm gonna have to throw my religion down and pop off too. So Nia was like, yeah, well, we don't need any of that. So let's don't pop off. Let's just pause, try to figure it out. When she goes back in the house, Chris is like, what were they all out there talking about? And I thought it was kind of weird, like how they went in that little corner and they couldn't like come say, hey, well, let's go chill. Make it be normal. He already knows what it is. He's very uncomfortable with her having, he gonna be one of them husbands. You can't have no friends. Cause he want a goonie goo goo. He wants somebody who's gonna stay in the house and cook and clean and make sure, he's entertained when he comes home. He says these women are putting things in her head, and she says, you're bringing me down, and he's like, bringing you down? How am I bringing you down? I don't think she means bringing you down. I think she means shutting her down. I think she means every time she tries to say her point or say her piece, you shut her down. You over here acting stupid, like you don't know what she means. And you do that. Everything that she comes out of her mouth with, you come up with a counter. You want to argue her point. That's what she means. And that's what she means. He says she's just jealous and insecure. And so hopefully eventually that she will stop questioning him and what he's doing, because she's going to fight no matter what. Just so don't question him, because if you do question him, then he's going to think you're jealous and insecure, and you're not jealous and insecure, because there's nothing actually going on in front of your eyes that you can see. And I feel like if he cared about her, when you care about someone, and 3 months is not that long, so I don't believe he gives a shit. I think he thinks he found him one that's trainable, and we'll see how that works out. Hopefully not, but when you care about someone or think having some type of emotional connection to someone, you consider their feelings. I feel like you consider, if you're any type of nice person, you would consider anybody's feelings that has to be in the same space that you're in. So that ain't what, never showed up, because her feelings are not valid. So they don't matter. And it ain't even about Jody. He don't like her either. I think he just likes the attention. Chris then calls Jody over there to further embarrass her. And I was like, there's no way in the hell I would have entertained that. Both of y'all playing in my face at this point. Aaron is playing in his own face because Jody already has him trained up, because Jody is a way better trainer than Chris is. Aaron knows to come in the room, whatever Jody says, agree with it. Jody and Chris are telling her how these ladies just don't like Jody, and so they're trying to cause problems. And I'm like, that don't even make sense. They don't like you because of how you moving. Why would they do that? That don't even make sense. Zadia tells Jody, like, how y'all interact makes me uncomfortable. And that should be enough for you, young lady. That should be enough for you to be like, you know what? I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. That's not even what we came here for, because I came here to be with this guy that I've been talking to for 9 months. Y'all talking to this girl like she's from another planet. She's just from Haiti. Irritating. Miranda's coming. She's doing check-ins with people. She checks in with Millie and Greg to see how things are going, and they do communicate well. Millie admits to having walls up, and it's like, yeah, we can see that. We know that there's something going on with Millie, because she doesn't mind getting in close, and then she like pushes back a little bit. So we find out later why that is, but it explains a lot. And then Greg, he got some stuff going on too. So it's starting to make sense why it took them 3 years to finally meet each other. Sometimes you meet the right person at the wrong time and you mess everything up. So they, for whatever reason, for whatever things they were going through, now is the time, that they want to put the energy into, getting to know each other. After 3 years, I feel like you learn how to communicate to some extent. You know what I mean? Um, it gives you an opportunity to learn a lot about each other, but you don't really learn each other until you start spending time, being part of each other's routine, besides, phone call, FaceTime, whatever they've been doing. Um, the guys are talking to Chris about how inappropriate he's being with uh with Jody. Bishop Aaron is like, if you was communicating with my girl was Diamond, I would feel like you're trying to smash. Regardless to whether you say you just feel being friends or not. That's not how I would be feeling. And Greg is like, maybe you should just consider that, she doesn't like it. So why not like let that thing be a thing? And let those two do whatever it is they came to do, and just try to consider her feelings. Chris said he's not about to be giving into her insecurities. That's if he give into her insecurities, he gonna be giving and giving and giving and giving. And Aaron says that relationship would be like being in a prison. So they agree that, no, you guys are wrong. Nobody giving into her demands, you gotta break it down. Her feelings don't matter. Her feelings are valid. That's according to him. So whatever she's feeling, she's gonna have to adjust that if she wants to keep him. Because he's the prize. I'm assuming that's what he think. Tyronda checks in with Sienna and Brandon, and Sienna's sitting up there like she didn't just throw flowers at that man. She asks, how are things going? And Sienna's like, well, it's going good. It's going good. And Brandon is like, yeah, we going through the motions. Cause you are. She's sitting up here acting like everything's fine, and she didn't just, chuck a bouquet of flowers at this man after calling him several bitches. But she's sitting up there, she's like, we're good on a platonic level, but when we things, start talking about romance or planning the future, things get a little shaky. And I'm like, girl, you call a man a bitch and throw a bouquet of roses at him, that'll get things a little shaky too. Brandon said he's turned off by the way she doesn't communicate, honestly. He said conversations go back and forth. Not I say something and you snap the fuck out. And she goes, you're full of shit. And he's like, see what I mean? Oh my God. She said, well, you do the same thing. The things that you accuse me of doing, you do the same thing. And, the things that I'm asking of you, you like want to turn them into a big thing. And I'm confused because here she goes snapping. Tyrone is like, girl, your delivery is like unpleasant. And then they both chalk her behavior up to being like independent for a long time and doing things by herself and being from Brooklyn. And I'm like, that's no excuse for her weird ass behavior. That lady is like hot to cold and cold to hot in a matter of seconds. It's kind of scary. She's, you right, you right. I could soften up a bit. You can get some help because it goes beyond that. I don't think that man did anything. And you know what? It's not even that he's perfect, but we don't know because we only see you acting a fool. So I mean, I think like there was a moment when the guys were talking about, this bullshit ass friendship between Jody and Chris, and he was being an agreeable. And I'm like, Randy, do you have an opinion? That sounds stupid. You know better than that. Chris is parading around the room like he's, in charge. Like, the rest of the niggas is like, okay, child, whatever you say. Tyronda asked him, do you think the relationship is worth saving? And Sienna's like, yeah, I think, if we learn how to, have a little more time on a smooth sailing type of vibe. And Brandon is like, nah, I don't. It's fine. Like I think we could be friends, but beyond that, um I'm not thinking I'm gonna put any more effort into it. And this is the thing. He said he's dating to find a wife, and this man got kids. And I feel like when you were like, and you got kids, and you mess up your life, and you did, when she started bringing his children into the conversation, he was probably off of that. Like, I'm not introducing this crazy lady to my kids. Tyranda does a check-in with Aaron and Jody, and they both sitting up there defending her friendship, whatever it is, with Chris, and she looking like, what? Like the whole fact that you would have to have this discussion sounds crazy. Y'all ain't even supposed to be there for that. Y'all supposed to be there to get to know each other. Aaron thinks like if they go on a few more dates, they'll start to get connected. And Jody said she's a little slow to make an intimate connection, but she was just saying the other day to Chris how she don't mind smashing on the first date because women need to get on the same page as men. So which is it, girl? Do you be smashing right away, or do you, take your time getting, intimate connections? Girl, we've seen you in the room with this man 0 times. Y'all haven't had 0 moments by yourself. Except for that time where he was standing there irritating you by just standing there. First date, that's it. Millie's sister comes to visit. This is, Millie, Greg gets to meet her sister. He brings his mom, so they have a quick interaction. And most of the conversation is between the person that brought them over there. And so I guess, child. But during their conversation, first of all, Millie's sister seems to have a strong support system. You know what I mean? So when you have things go on, trauma go on, or just hard times in general, you have somebody there that's going to give you some solid advice, then that's going to work in favor of your relationship. You know what I mean? Millie, in the conversation with her sister, revealed that she had been a victim of SA. And that explains a lot. That's going to require some patience from Greg. So he's been patient enough waiting for 3 years. So I'm not going to say it's not in him, but yeah, the whole physical connection between the two is going to take him being patient and kind with her. He asked her sister, because he did have a little interaction with her sister. He asked her sister, like, what can he do to get closer to Millie? Yeah, he just got to be patient, and they're gonna have to keep communicating with each other. Greg talks to his mom, and she talks about how, she didn't think he was ready before. I don't know what he was out here doing, wasting time probably. But she feels like he's in a much better place than he was, and that he's ready to take on a relationship. Greg admits that, when he met Millie, he didn't have a shit together. And I figured that. Based on the way his sideburns is set up, I feel like he probably still got some work to do. But, he's ready to go ahead and, take that step. And again, like, if you ain't got your shit together, you don't want to meet the person that you really feel like that's the responsible thing to do. Get your shit together before you call yourself being ready to involve yourself in a relationship. Josh and Shay is in the boom boom room because that's what they do. They've been together 12 years, child. They have some making up to do. I feel like they're gonna burn it out. And then what else do y'all have? Josh is very content, but they out here in Calabasas on vacation, so to speak. I want to know, like, is the effort gonna be put in when it's time for them to go back to their prospective states? He got them kids back in Tennessee. She, live in Miami, so she's probably the one that's gonna have to adjust if that's a thing. 12 years, it's a long time. Chris and Sadia have their check-in with Tyranda. This is so freaking annoying. Of course, Sadia tells her about the whole situation with Jody and Chris gets all irritated and slouches down in his chair because this is stupid and he don't have time for this. People and their insecurities and their jealousies. He ain't got time for it now, never, no way, no how, not gonna do it. It's just not who he is. She got mood swings all over the place. I haven't seen that, but Now it sounds like he making stuff up. And he said her feelings aren't valid. Right after he says her feelings aren't valid, then he turned around and says, she's so nice. She's the nicest, sweetest person I've ever met. She's kind, she's affectionate, and I could really see her in like the long, long, long term. And I'm like, so was that for her benefit? Is that part of that reel you're in? You know, so she's sitting there hearing that, and now she gonna go in there, you know, and find out it was just bullshit. Tyranda brings up relationship experts, and they both decline and reject the idea. He don't need no expert interfering in his plan, Tyranda. He'll need somebody coming in there, undoing all the hard work he's already put in so far. He definitely doesn't want Sadia to get her voice and start speaking up for herself. They came back in the house and Jody right away is like, so what happened out there? And I'm like, in their private conversation that they were having with your mother, girl. And Chris is like, she out there like telling her how these people are getting in her ear, and you know, she's what he called her. He said she weak minded, and you know, she believe in that nonsense, people that she just met a few minutes ago. Um, Diamond is like, hang on now. Ain't nobody putting that in her head. These are the things that she said like on her own. And I was like, well, I didn't hear her say anything. I heard y'all like bring it up and you know, whatever. Tomato, tomato. These are her feelings. I don't think they did not direct her feelings. They just asked her how does she feel about it. And she said it made her uncomfortable. She said that she didn't like it. She said she didn't like this girl up in his face like that. Now she's showing up with eyelashes and titty tops and cut out pants, and she's still not polished, but she's a little more polished than she was when we first seen her. She's still busted, but she's less busted than she was in the first couple few episodes. It's like she's, you know, getting dressed for this nigga. Jody said, everybody see how you be tugging on Chris, and she like, I'm tugging on the man. I mean, I don't know if she was tugging on the man, but there seems to be a lot of conversation about this, and it's unnecessary. If nothing's going on, it should be a nothing thing. You know, y'all fighting to prove that y'all are just friends, not doing anything harder than you trying to put the energy into your own relationship. Diamond in here and getting in her feelings because she want to go off. Ain't nobody else said nothing. Now she's saying they not backing her up. Y'all be doing all this talking behind their back, but now that they're all sitting here, you don't want to say anything. Well, no, I didn't want to say anything. That's their business. So that's why I didn't say anything. And you decided to say something, so now stand in your shit. She's way too invested. I feel like, is this something that happened to her? Because beyond having that conversation outside and asking that girl, you should say something, you know, she did, and that way how it's gonna go. So you should let that shit go. They went to the boom boom room. They didn't even want to eat with those people. So you got Aaron, Bishop Aaron, and Diamond, and then you got Josh and Shay over to the boom boom room because that's where they live. They live at the boom boom room. So I guess Bishop Aaron and Diamond were gonna be their guests for the night. And they ate that. I mean, I guess. I feel like I'd rather you take your negative energy away than to us all be sitting at this table with that kind of shit. Millie ain't pressed about it because she, you know, is focused on her own relationship. And Brandon is on his way out the door, so he don't give a shit either. Next week there's a relationship expert, and I guess we about time. We want to see how this plays out. Then they're gonna do some rope bondage games. And then Diamond Sister Pearl with a U come through arguing with the bishop. I don't know. We'll see what that's about. Anyway, y'all, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll get into whatever they're giving us next week. Bye, y'all.